All right, next case, City of Valdosta case number CU 2012-01. This is the conditional use of on this same address.
Yes, sir. Now we can focus on the actual use. In your packet before, you saw the differences between RP and OP. Commercial daycare centers of any size above 18 children requires a conditional use approval in OP zone, whether it be 18 or 108. The request before you is to expand an existing daycare center that was originally approved for a maximum of 25 children up to 50. On the front page of agenda item number 4, you see the conditions of the original approval. Let's look at those for a moment. The first one was to install a 6-foot opaque fence along the rear property line. That has been done since 2009. All pickup and drop-off will occur at the front of the property. As you see on the site plan in your packet, there is a circular drive with access only from Oak Street, so that has been accomplished as long as it's enforced that that's where drop-off occurs. Third one is parking spaces close to the intersection will be removed per the city engineer. Those spaces, the pavement is physically there, but they have been chained off, so they can no longer be used. I remember from reading the minutes about this from 3 years ago, that was a concern. People backing out of those spaces were backing right at the intersection of the stop sign. So that's been alleviated. The fourth one is hours of operation. You can see the different time frames. One of the issues involved and why the difference, some of you have asked, is there's been a change of regulations since 2009. In that time, all daycare centers were allowed at RP by conditional use approval. There were only 2 categories, small and large. We have since amended the regulations to reflect 3 categories, small, medium, and large, and we have deleted them from RP zone, so they're no longer eligible to be asked. So as an existing approval or an existing facility, this business was grandfathered in under the old approval from 2009. And it was not tied to an applicant, it was tied to the property. So as long as they met these conditions, any daycare center could go in and operate at that location based on that original approval. Any changes to these conditions or an expansion requires a re-review. And in this case, it also triggered a rezoning, which you just acted upon. And so now we're looking at conditional use with a possibility of a larger daycare center. In your packet, there's also a site plan and a floor plan of the building. The building has remained relatively unchanged since 2009 after the interior renovations. Based on life safety code, the fire department has granted it a maximum occupancy of 54 persons. It's not 54 children, that's 54 persons. If you include staff members, then the number of children must be less. In our recommendation, which is for approval, you see item number 2 is to operate with no more than 50 or 45 children at any one time, or shall the building exceed a total occupancy of 54. And that is based on a possible average. In the front page of this, it gives you the ratio of staff to children. If they have a lot of younger children, there's not enough space in the building, theoretically, based on the occupancy, to accommodate that many kids. So we came up with 45 as a probable maximum. The state has told me that they have approved the building for up to 48 children based on its size alone. That was as of a week and a half ago. That may have changed as of their inspection last Monday. But nonetheless, based on the numbers at that time, 45 is what we came up with. That allowed 9 staff to operate the facility. Daycare centers, their impacts are based on noise and traffic generation. That is one reason why I think it is good that there are conditional use in zones such as this. Not all OP areas are the same, not all locations are the same, not all daycare centers are the same. This facility is limited by the size of the building. We're requesting basically the maximum that the building can hold. In staff's view, that is large enough. They have been operating at up to 50 children at some point. It has allowed us to observe the facility in operation. I personally have gone out and looked at it at different times of the day during pickup and drop-off to see what kind of traffic impact it has. And I was surprised that it actually generated less traffic than some of the office buildings across the street and nearby. No more than 2 cars were there at one time in the drop-off lane, and it didn't seem to have much impact at all. However, by contrast, we do have daycare centers in town that have 200 or more children. I have seen those in operation as well, and that is a completely different story. This is not one of those. It cannot be that size because of the building limits, and so does the site.